Hello, everyone. I'm going to try this for the third time. Mel always used to have this expression of, damn, how many times do I have to do this video over again so that it feels and sounds right for my viewers? It's like, yes, I can understand how he feels. Sometimes I just do it cold turkey and I put it out there with a lot of things that I do. And if people don't like it, well, tough. At least I put something out there. I showed an aspect of myself. So what I wanted to do was relay the beginning of our life of coming together because I know that I haven't been present on YouTube for 14 months and it just wasn't in me to make that connection. I had a lot of individuals come through email, so I privately went on Skype or Zoom and connected with them that way, or phone calls or texts. That's, some of the ways, just everybody wanting to know how I was doing and what my experience was. And so um, one of the teachers recommended that, um, I begin videos again, that they felt I'd gone through the worst of it, and so that maybe I should give it a try. So here I am today, and I guess where I want to begin is our story, and it is going in a direction which leads to this vision. Of course, today is a new moon in Pisces, and it's about a vision of sharing. We've all been through pain and suffering over the past 2 years, and aspects of our life have collapsed. And my life began to collapse in 2018 when I saw my husband slowly um, getting ready to make his shift. I know that people wanted the experiences of what happens after the death. And for me, it was the experiences that happened before death. It's not to say I didn't have experiences after he passed, it was the up close and personal experiences that happened. So, for example, there's always this. I think there was a show out and it was called The Grim Reaper or The Reaper. I can't remember what it was. Or, anyways, it was it was the weirdest. But um, the story was about the process of death and dying and what happens and when the soul gets taken and or actually when the soul gets ready to leave, there is a process that one goes through. And I have to admit, I did have that experience going to bed every night. Mel had a lot of out of body experiences, and during that time, he was going through so much upheaval because his physical world was collapsing more and more every day. He was really connecting with spirit, and so I chose more time in the other room to meditate and to rest, and in some cases sleep there, which he would visit me at night. He would come out of body and he would watch me, and I could see him and feel him. And then I've had visitations from basically, I guess you could call it death. In astrology, we call it Pluto. It comes for you, it changes you, it dissolves that which you are and creates something new. And so I got to see that over a period of time. The message was coming quite clear, that my partner was going away. So it was the warning to get prepared. Um, so that's part of the story. Very interestingly enough, through evolutionary astrology, which I've been studying now since 2010, um, I learned that everybody has um, karma, past life. You know, it exists. Mel and I had our differences about karma. So it's very interesting because evolutionary astrology talks about the moon's nodes, and the moon's nodes tells you where you come from and where you're going. And so I wanted to kind of go into 2021 in November, December. I have to get the dates, but I remember posting it. It had to do with this uh, Pandora's box, but I did not find out until after I had the experience. And the experience I had was from the dream state to when I woke up. I could hear these music. Celine Dion was one of them. I was singing in the dream state, and that was Mel's and my favorite. We used to love Celine Dion. And then I woke up and I actually felt myself hearing Neil Diamond in my head. Neil Diamond was very special to me as a child because it was in connection with my family, and my uncles were my mentors. So I lucked out and I grew up with a family of mentors. Everybody used to say, you know, you have to have a hero out there. You have to have somebody to teach you and guide you. And I know a lot of people will, you know, pick the most amazing people out there, you know, whether it's, I don't know, Deepak Chopra, whether it's, um, God, I could pick, I guess, you know, now that I'm trying to think of it, somebody said to me, do you know Teal Swan? No, I don't know her. I guess a lot of people liked her. Abraham Hicks. You go after, like, for me, it's spiritual people. You know, other people, it's, oh my God, it's Oprah. You know, who is it for you? Well, for me, it was my uncles and my one aunt that were my mentors. And so uh, Neil Diamond was very big back then. And if you listen to his music more and more and more, there's a theme of a man who has a story, and it's of fighting the everyday battles that we have. And his goal is to transcend those battles, to find peace and love in a place that is unheard of, that is mystical, that is magical, that is something we can't explain. And so I'm going to read this because this was the song that came up, and I could feel Mel surrounding me that morning. And Neil Diamond's creation was called The Story of My Life. The story of my life is very plain to read. It starts the day you came and ends the day you leave. The story of my life begins and ends with you. The names are still the same. The story's still the truth. I was alone. You found me waiting. You made me your own. I was afraid that somehow I never could be the man that you wanted of me. That was Mel. He always felt that way. And it did not matter how much praise and love, emotional endearment he felt unworthy of love most of the time. Where he felt most loved and cherished was in our mission together. That's where we succeeded. And so when I bring in the aspect of, say, evolutionary story, or shall I say evolutionary astrology, for us, it is quite very interesting because our goal was to bring about a set of learned beliefs, which and it could be of mystical, occult, you know, these spiritual beliefs, these things we cannot explain, moving and cycling the kundalini through the body. So our south node together was that of Sagittarius, you know, what we feel is natural. But our work was about how it's the things that we learned. And it's also in regards to that of other people, you know, shared opinions and concepts, what we learn through school, what we learn through the government, you know, what we learn in our neighborhood. And so, Nelson, And my goal forward was North Node in Gemini, and it was very interesting because it had Saturn sit there, so it was karma, the taskmaster, to provide a sense of sustainability, security. So we feel it, we embrace it emotionally and from a legacy point of view of passing it on to the collective, which is you. That was hard. We came up against um, a lot of people who definitely didn't like what we had to present, but it was an opinion. We were trying to move up. And Mel, well, it was kind of interesting. It was ironic, really, because it's about a set of beliefs, and he's going, just get out of your belief system. And he gets so upset. Oh, can't they just get out of their belief system? They're so intellectual. So it's funny because we almost knew that which we came from was, moving forward. So almost as if there was an authority that was always trying to block us from trying to get you know, our story across. And it's interesting because the North Node in Gemini is about other people's opinions and other people's stories. And that is exactly what we tried to do. So even though we peeved off a lot of people came and shared their stories, and that's what it was. It was about opinions, spiritual opinions and viewpoints of how we move forward in this grand experience of twin flame union and twin flame relationship. Basically, we chose that label to give it some tangible sustenance. So moving through that, we were able to find a way to connect with so many. I mean, just to get a rise out of people. I could remember, it's like, okay, how do I get people's attention, so that they wake up? I remember putting an organic picture, like a picture of a bottle of Frog Pond wine. And it was right on the front and center of our website. And, it was like, okay, we got a story to tell you. Come get yourself a glass of wine or a cup of tea and join us. Oh, a couple emails come as, how dare you? How dare you say, you're using a bottle of wine? And it was all of this connotation, about, are we alcoholics? Are you implying that spiritual people are alcoholics? Or, why would you want to put a bottle of wine? And, well, I emailed the lady back and I said, but I got your attention, didn't I? Because that's all I did it for. Because we were trying to get people's attention. Hey, wake up. Hello in there. What did John used to say? Oh, hello? Wake up. Is anybody in there? Very good. I can remember him saying that. And we wanted to have other people sharing in their Kundalini awakening, their experiences. It was that actual joy. So feeling that deep within me, I got to meet a lot of people by working with Mel in the background. And I chose that position because that's where I was best needed. Mel had a lot of difficulty with school. I'm looking interestingly right now at what's happening the past 2 to 3 years. And they're saying that with the masks that we're wearing, which is interesting, we're going to have a lot of people with a lack of social skills. So we have a Uranus in Taurus right now. And it's that disconnection from love, from affection, from tenderness, and from emotion. And of course, with a lot of kids doing homeschooling, that's a good thing, but it's the lack of socialism. You know, how do we feel the sense of connection with another human being? You know, being able to read, write, having that exchange of energy. So Mel was born during a Uranus and Gemini, and over a period of time, I found out that one of the things why he didn't want to write so many books. I always took it upon myself of writing the book, and I didn't know why. And Mel tried his best, and I mean, I just went with it. But I mean, he even admitted that he didn't write very well. He spoke better than he wrote, and he used his higher self, John, to talk through him. So I can add on that aspect of John. After Mel and I started coming together at some point, we weren't fully together, but yes, I could actually hear John in the back of my head, and I have been experiencing that from time to time. Um, and it's like, Nicole, why don't you put a pair of glasses on? You know, let me come through you. And I said, well, I'll give it a try, but I don't think I'm going to have the same voice vibration because I'm female. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. Let's have some fun, or find something. So I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. Hopefully, I can get it going, and you know, have the how can I say it, the boldness to do it, and maybe get a few laughs out of all of you. Also have a lot of material to present. I needed time to kind of digest it, and a lot of you have gotten Mel, just Mel, every day talking Mel. And I have information on the etheric body, light body, in tape cassette form. We also had a selection of MP3s available on our site. I haven't activated them, probably because Mel was doing so many YouTube videos, I didn't think anybody would want MP3s. But we do. We have some nice channeled information from Mel as John. So his voice vibration changes, as some of you have come in the past for channeled sessions, but Mel stopped channeling. He felt exhausted and tired. It began sometime after 2015, and it just more and more and more got pronounced, and he went to just being Mel. He let the channeling aspect of him go. So hopefully I can bring about some nice pieces of material so we can continue that vision, so we can remember him and assist those new beginners, people who have their first time going through an awakening, and that inner child is blossoming within themselves, and they need simple information. I always thought while Mel and I were together, we needed to try to advance, and I was advised by other consultants, don't, because we have such a small portion of people that are going through the awakening process, that's simplistic material that Mel had through John. And he did have a book that he put out through the Heart Network. So I don't know if I'll publish that again. But we were told to keep the material simple, because there would be more and more people having an awakening. And even though we have so many people, I see it out there, there's so many wonderful people that are putting so much interesting material out. But if you're not simple for the beginners, you're not ever going to get them to buy your most advanced material, no matter how well you market it. So we're going to keep it simple. We're going to continue the vision. And I wanted to kind of finish off the last 10 minutes. I don't want to make this video too long. And we'll have more videos, and I'll give a little bit by little bit, or as John would say, precept upon precept. I will offer what I can in the time to come in videos. I'd like to take the remaining minutes now to actually thank. I wrote some notes. Not always as good as Mel. Maybe as I continue, I'll be more free-flowing. But I wanted to thank those people, the kindness, the human kindness of those who sent donations for Mel's videos and to assist me as I went along. I really appreciate that, because it will go towards the website to change the website around and continue. Actually, the other thing too that I am moving forward with is the meridian energetics. Mel is no longer here, of course, he's not teaching it, and that was my job to take over. That was our business together from the very beginning, and he always knew he was going to go first, and I would continue teaching meridian energetics when he left. So the site is still up. The sites are still up. There will be changes to come, but I needed time to process the emotions and the sentiments and find out where we are all really going in this grand new story of life, the future. So thank you so much for all your donations. I would also like to move forward with global meditation. If any of you are interested, um, you may email me, and I'm going to give you a new email. I would like to keep those individuals that are requesting a session with myself to assist with your twin flame journey or any of your daily challenges in life, counseling. I'll talk about that in another video. I don't want to go into too much depth right now. When you want my services and you're saying I need to book a session with you, reunion@twinflames.ca. Please use that. Now, for other people that are saying, Nicole, what's a twin flame? And I need a bit more information. And, is it possible? Like Mel had one video on fake twin flames. What's your viewpoint and opinion on that? I want to hear yours. Okay, so what I've created is another email, and the email is called letters from home at twinflames.ca. And the reason why I created that is it allows me to go through the emails easier. So it's categorized in a sense where I know when I go into that particular email, it's not going to be, Nicole, I need to book a reading with you. No, you're not going to get paid attention because that one goes to reunion@twinflames.ca. If you have questions for videos, you want to ask a question and you want me to do one on a video, then send it to lettersfromhome@twinflames.ca. I wanted to thank those individuals who created the Facebook groups with Mel. A few people have asked me to continue on as administrative, what do you call it, administrative assistants. Basically, they're administrators. That's what it is. I never really functioned very well with the Facebook. I'm not that type of person. I don't feel comfortable with the way the platform was in the past. It's a good marketing tool if you want to put your business on it. But other than that, I just honestly I haven't played a part. Mel loved Facebook. He used to spend his Fridays back in, God, I think it was 2016, 2017. He used to be avid every Friday. He used to be writing stuff and connecting with people in the groups. He just loved it. It was his social. That was his social life. It's not like he went to the golf club or, mind you, he had the pigeons, but he had to give those up as well because the dust in the loft was really aggravating his chest, so he had to let them go. So I wanted to thank all of the administrators that are continuing in these groups. There will be some changes. Banners will be changing, and I hope to continue as the time goes on. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of the people who came and became not only his clients for counseling. He spent an in-depth amount of energy at night coming out of the dream state, creating his videos for those people he really loved. But he really loved the practitioners, and near the end he created a couple of teachers as well. So I wanted to thank all of the practitioners who believed in the meridian energetic technique, and I would like to say we are going to continue that vision, and I hope to see probably more participation within an aspect of meridian energetics. I don't want to talk about it right now because 25 minutes, that's enough. I'm going to close it off for now. Hopefully I said a couple things that might have excited you. I'm not as nervous as I was the last time I did a video 14 months ago. I'm pretty much feeling into my skin. I feel like I'm down to earth, and I wanted to wish you all a beautiful new moon. Hopefully your wishes and dreams come true in the time to come. Namaste.